All right, guys, Wealth Wednesday. Jerry Fetta here, owner, founder, and CEO of the Wealth Dynamics brand. I want to give you my updates. So every week I've been giving you Wealth Wednesday updates. I gave you one last week, the week before. I'm going to give you another one this week. And we're doing some really exciting stuff. I'm excited to share my update with you. And I'm going to go through that in a minute. Now, before I do, okay, we released a new tool. It's a brand new tool that I want to share with you. And you've got to watch to the end of the video. Okay, if you watch to the end of the video, I'm going to give you the link for this new tool. Completely free, and it's going to change the way you do your finances. It's going to give you a 1,000 or 10,000 foot view at what's happening with your money. It's going to give you an actual graph based on 100 different wealth determining factors. Then you're going to get a free consultation with my team to help you go through that, understand it, understand what it means for your life and how you can improve your finances. But you got to watch to the end of the video. All right, guys, Wealth Wednesday. So here's my update. So right now, I'm very focused on my company still. Okay, and so I updated you last week. I paid off a bunch of credit card debt with my Sacred account. I'm in the midst of setting up another Sacred account. I did mine with One America. Okay, One America is quickly becoming my favorite company. We work with about 5 companies. I just love One America. I hadn't been using them before, right? I was using Mass Mutual. I was using Guardian, some of these other groups. And so One America has been around just as long, and they actually have really geared their company towards the Sacred account. It's something they've really embraced. So I love that because it's one of the problems we'd run into is we'd work with these big insurance carriers, and they're like, hey, we're non-monogamous in terms of what we will design for you on a policy, right? Tell us what it is. We don't care. We'll design anything. But also, that means that they're not educated on some of the stuff we're doing. We might say we want to design a Sacred account. Well, the $15 an hour lady on the phone doesn't know what that means. And so when our clients call in, they're getting a bunch of weird answers or not getting the help they want because the person just doesn't know. They're like, we're in the business of designing whatever your agent tells us to. And so I've really appreciated One America because their company culture, they've literally designed their products for the Sacred account, for the infinite banking concept. Right, so they understand it, they get it, they speak the language, and they've actually been teaching me some stuff that I didn't realize, right? So my Wealth Wednesday this week, that's been an update. I'm working with One America on getting my account established. I've been able to go through an expedited underwriting. So working with our team at the Money Multiplier, that's our partner agency, they do all of our fulfillment. I did my onboarding call as a client with Wealth Dynamics. Shout out to Tamara on my team, she crushed it on that. I did my client, kind of getting started with the application process call. That went well. I did my actual application. That took maybe 15 minutes. There was a great form I filled out. And so now I'm going through accelerated underwriting, right? Because of the policy I was applying for and the fact that I'm healthy, I've done policies before. One America said, hey, you don't even need to do blood work and urine analysis. Just do a telephone interview. So I'm able to actually skip a lot of the parts that I don't like. I don't like needles. For me, I'm I don't like that part of it, so I get to skip that. That's great. So I expect my policy to be up and running in a few weeks. I'm going to be contributing every month into that policy, right? And so that's one of the things I'm doing to make progress. Now, the other thing I'm doing is in my company, and I'm doing it with my personal finances too, I'm making everything I do count, right? And what I mean by that is on my personal finances, I'm doing my Big 3 challenge. Right? And so my Big 3 challenge, I'm doing the 90-day challenge. Every day I'm learning about something that's going to increase my income. Every day I'm doing something to increase my income by working harder or bringing a new idea in, right? So this is my Big 3 challenge here. Every day I'm rating and ranking my transactions on a 1 to 5 scale. And so I've been doing that. I'm on day 19 today. And I've been seeing, I'm learning more about finances. I'm coming up with better ideas to earn income. On Friday, I went out and I worked with clients on real estate investing, setting up Sacred accounts. I'm getting involved in things that are increasing the income of my company. And then I'm looking at what I'm spending and I'm asking, does this generate money? Does this generate income? And if it doesn't generate income, does it generate something that I would want to exchange my income for? Right? And that's a very important question. If you're an individual, sure, you've got, the basics. You need to cover your food. You need to cover your shelter. You need transportation. You need clothing. You need to make sure that you're getting educated, right? You need personal well-being. Those are all things we should spend money on, right? But a lot of times we look at this and we think budgeting and we think about dollar amounts rather than actions and outcomes, right? And when I look at this, like for my birthday, for example, I went out to dinner and it's more than I would usually spend for a meal, right? But I look at the outcome of it, right? And that's what you got to look at with your expenses. I could be like, okay, based on dollar amount, I don't spend that money. It's more than I usually would. Or I look at, where would I rate this? For me, that was a 4. That was a personal well-being. Right now, if it was a random occasion and I'm like, I want to go drop, a few $100s on dinner for no reason, that's probably a 1 or a 2, right? It's like it's bad timing or it's a dumb idea. But in this scenario, it was good timing. And so I can't just look at the dollar amount. Right? We hear all the time, finances is math. I say that often, but it's also behavior. Math is a representation of a problem being solved. So does that thing solve your problem? Right? And when you think about money like this, like as an individual or a family, what are you spending on? Do those things solve your problem? You'd have to know what your problem is in the first place. And the number one problem we all have, without getting too into esoteric things like spirituality and love and whatever else, if we just look at life, you wake up, you go to a job, your kids go to school, you pay the bills, you try and keep up. What's the main problem there? You're not financially independent. So when I'm spending, it should be on things that get me financially independent. That should be the majority of where my income goes. For the majority of us, our income mostly goes to housing. It mostly goes to transportation. It mostly goes to food. It goes to a lot of 4s, but you need to flip it so you've got more 5s than 4s. 5s are things that grow my income and they reduce my taxes, right? So as a person, you would go through your transactions like I did. In my business, I've done the same thing, right? So I've really, in recent times, done a lot more, focus on automation, especially artificial intelligence, right? I did a video on this on my Thursday Thoughts a couple weeks back. You can check that out. But we're looking at, okay, what is the main thing we need human beings for in our business? And we need human beings to help us get attention. We need human beings to provide customer service and the human care and the human touch with our clients. We need human beings for, critical thinking and problem solving. But we don't need them to, let's say, send out text messages. A robot could do that, right? We don't need them maybe to, at this point, make a post on Facebook. We just found out AI can do that also. Right, and so I'm going through a lot of this is where we spend money. Where can we pull that in and repurpose that into things that generate more service, more income for the business? And I'd be looking at the same thing in our personal lives. I don't think the AI quite yet gets into our personal lives the way it is available for businesses. It'll probably get there someday, right? But that's a lot of what my attention has been on, is how do we automate? Now, we just released, like I said today, something called a wealth potential analysis. Okay, I've been working the last couple of months on this, developing this with my team, and I'm very excited about that because, it's the things I would look at with my finances. I sat down with a client last week, and he's like, I'm busy. I'm making $400,000 a year. I'm working 60, 70 hours a week. I spend my free time on personal development. And he's like, Jerry, I just don't have time. I don't have time to study finances. And so I told him, I get it. I'm as busy as you are, right? But 2 things. Number 1, I make time. Right? Time is created. And so I'm going to make time. And the way you make time is you take the activity and you multi-purpose it. Right? I'll be frank with you. I need to do 10 minutes of finance training on my Big 3 challenge. Sometimes I'm on the toilet for 10 minutes. There's my 10 minutes. Right? I create the time there. Right? I fit it in somehow. And so that's really with this wealth potential analysis, it simplifies it down so that our clients are able to see, where am I at? What do I need to focus on right now? You don't need to know everything, right? On this analysis, there's 10 different columns. We're not going to handle all the columns today. We're going to pick one of them. We're going to pick the important one. We're going to focus on that. We're going to work on that for a couple of days, weeks, months, however long it takes to get it up to par. Now let's handle the next column. Now let's handle the next one. Before you know it, each of these columns is above the normal line on the graph. Okay, and this comes from, someone's desire to actually receive help. Okay, this was another learn for me this past week is we did this analysis, we built the assessment, I sent it out to a guy, multimillionaire, high net worth, interested, he's a doctor, and I sit down with them and I'm like, I look at his graph, he sent in the wealth potential analysis, and his reach and interest in receiving help was very low. Very low. I'm talking like he was not interested in getting help, but he still wanted to do a phone call. And so I was like, okay, well, he wants to do a call. I do a call. Well, I get on the call, I help him out. I give him 90 minutes of education. I do the analysis with them. I give him the sacred account presentation. At the end of it, he didn't want to do business. I need to think about it. I need to talk to my wife. I'm not sure. Someone in my family just died. I can't meet up now. Kicking the can down the road. And so I realized that we can't help someone that doesn't want help. And that's one of the first reasons that someone would do a Big 3 challenge. That's one of the first reasons someone would set up a sacred account. That's one of the first reasons someone would want an endorsed wealth mentor from my team working with them on their finances. They want help. They want to improve. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They know life could be better, and they're frustrated with staying in the same spot or maybe losing progress and not moving. And so they're like, I'm ready for help. I'm ready for action. And so, for me, that's been a series of catalysts in my life. Whenever I feel that way, that's when I make progress. Right? Now, to wrap this up on my update, I just turned 31 yesterday. Right? And so, I've been told this whole story. You're in your 30s, your back's going to start hurting, your knees get out, you can't sleep as well, blah, 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 blah. And I haven't felt that. I turned 30. That didn't happen. I turned 31. I'm in better shape than I am now than I was in my 20s. Right? And so that's part of what I've realized as I continue to make progress in life is that it's the results that we put out, the actions that we put out that are bringing in the results we have. Right? I expect, in my late 30s are going to be better than my early 30s, and my 40s are going to be better than that. My 50s are going to be better than that. If you've ever talked with me in depth, I'm excited for when I'm 60. I can't wait. That's 29 years of compounding correct actions. I'm going to be a freaking beast when I'm 60. Okay, versus, I'm going to be old. What about this? And life is over. You still got like 30, 40 years left after that. You have an entire life. You're 30 now. There's another 30 years before you're 60, and you're probably going to live till you're 90 or longer. And with all the advancements, you're probably going to replace your heart and your kidneys and this. It's going to be like a car. You're going to be able to live as long as you want to live. Right? So with that being said, the things I do today, if they're long-term focused, they're going to pay off. Right? And so I've been putting my attention on, 5 years out from now, not 5 minutes out from now. And those are the actions I'm focusing on immediately. I'm planting those seeds. How do I set my business up to where it does the things I want? How do I set my finances up to where they do the things that I want? Long-term, like compounding, uninterrupted. And that's the concept of the sacred account. It's uninterrupted compounding interest. And I want that not just with my sacred account. I want that in every area of my life. Uninterrupted compounding good actions that benefit my life. Okay? So guys, that's all I've got for you today. I did mention I'm going to give you a free wealth potential analysis. So if you watched the video today and you understood what I was talking about, you're like, that makes sense. I want to do the assessment. I want to see where I'm at. I want to make improvement. I want help. And I'm going to see on your graph if you want help or not. I want you to go to analysis.wealthdynamics.com. Again, that's DYNAMX. We'll put that on the screen for you. Analysis.wealthdynamics.com. Go there. The assessment's there. It's free. Fill it out. We'll get your results. You'll set up a call for free with my team. We're going to help you out. That's all I've got for you today on this Wealth Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. See you next time.